If you tuned in to the latest We Might Be Drunk podcast with Mark Norman, Sam Morrill, and guest Godfrey, what you actually witnessed wasn't just another comic venting about another comic. It was one of those moments where comedy starts accidentally telling the truth about itself, about craft, about ego, about politics, about who gets pushed out of the room and why. Godfrey ended up talking about his ongoing tension with Nick DiPaolo, someone he used to get along with, someone he still respects, technically, but someone he says has drifted into lazy comedy. And when Godfrey says lazy, he doesn't mean unprepared or untalented. He means something way more damning in stand-up terms.
Even Nick DiPaolo is racist. Funny as fuck, though.
Funny.
Such great crafted jokes. I used to be in the audience laughing. He goes, I love it when Godfrey's in the audience. That damn Boston. I would come down to watch because he would get so angry, but he was still so funny.
So he's got one of my favorite Jew jokes of all time. He goes, I was in the class when I was trying to buy a car. I called a guy up. I said, hey, I want to buy your car. The guy goes, come over. And he goes, all right, I'm going to negotiate with this guy. I'm going to really, work him down. Guy answers the door. It's a Hasidic Jew. He goes, oh, I didn't know I was dealing with a black belt.
That's funny. That's how you do it. You misdirect different words. That's how you fucking do it, man. Yep. No matter what your mentality is, you
get the intent. The intent is to make people laugh.
Put the art there. Put the art. Don't go, oh man, is this sensitive? No, you're not doing the joke right, brother.
Yeah.
It's not about sensitivity. Do it, craft it, trick us.
Nick had that joke about checking into a hotel and there was a shit in his toilet and he called the front desk, goes, most hotels leave a mint on your pillow. You guys are really going the extra mile here.
That's fucking brilliant. He's a really great comedian, and I don't like when he gets. I hate when he goes so far.
Yeah, when he goes a little far. Sometimes.
I go, dude, you were hired by Chris Rock.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, and I was one of your favorite guys. We talk. It's like
no, I know.
I mentioned why. Like, fuck.
Well, because you know he has it in him. So when he goes lazy, or like, you could do when he just opens the set like Kamala Harris, you fucking cunt. You're like, no, that's not the joke. That's not the joke.
Anybody can do that.
Yeah, anybody.
We know you
slips.
have the
Godfrey's point wasn't that you can't talk about race, politics, or uncomfortable topics. His point was that you still have to put art into it. You still have to earn the laugh. Shock by itself is cheap. Craft is expensive. What makes this interesting is that Godfrey isn't dismissing Nick as some random hack. This isn't bitterness from someone who never rated him. This is disappointment from someone who knows how good he actually can be. But Godfrey also makes it clear that part of what's turned him off is Nick's political shift over the years and the way that shift shows up in his comedy.
But you're so good and you're so quick, and I'm a fan of Nick DiPaolo. It's sad because now he's in Georgia.
I know.
And he's just, I go,
that's not going to help things.
Yeah, and Nick, you look Arabic anyway. So relax. You're kind of swarthy.
Yeah, he's a guinea.
You're very olive.
You're right.
You're very olive complected. Stay out of the sun. You better have a parasol. They're going to figure you
the color
out.
of my pants.
But it's a,
he's a beast.
I like Nick.
But just to the crowds, let us get there. We'll get there. Just let us get there. Because I think they hear buzzwords and stuff.
We all are responsible for that.
Sure.
We're comedians, and people of different races come and see me. So how am I going to do this Klan joke? And how am I going to do it properly?
Right.
And I say, well, I think the Klan, you guys got to get better uniforms. Jeez, are you serious? Really? A sheet? Can we go couture? I was like, I wish KKK was
You need
black.
a gay guy.
Well, part of it also is the crowds have gotten in Manhattan, they're younger. We've gotten older, I guess. But also it's like they're a little younger. So they're experiencing comedy for the first time. Yeah.
Nick has always been politically outspoken. Even years ago, when Louis C.K. cast him on Louis, people thought the role felt improvised because it lined up so perfectly with Nick's blunt personality and worldview. That tells you this edge was always part of his DNA. It just wasn't always his entire identity.
I'm sure he did better at the Hitler Youth Rally.
Ha, liberal fag.
Okay, Himmler.
Why don't you just go eat out Obama's asshole?
I would. I'm not gay, but, just to be part of history.
I'm just going to shit.
You Republicans are such babies. You've had your way for 8 years. Why can't you just give somebody else a try?
Because it's a bullshit sham. That's why. He's in there because of white guilt and affirmative action. Anybody who has the balls to say that out loud is called a Nazi by deluded assholes like you.
Well, poor little Nazis don't like being called Nazis. I'm sorry. Can you guys stop having this conversation?
Over time, though, DiPaolo has leaned harder into political commentary and culture war energy, especially in ways that read as right-leaning or anti-political correctness. He's built a reputation for attacking politicians aggressively, mocking social sensitivity, and pushing buttons for the sake of it. For some audiences, that's refreshing. For others, especially comedians who lean left or prioritize craft over confrontation, it starts to feel less like comedy and more like bullying with a microphone. And that's where the separation starts happening. Not because comedians are suddenly fragile, but because the value system is different. A lot of comics still believe that even if you're saying something offensive, the joke itself has to be clever. It has to surprise. It has to elevate the idea into something playful or insightful. When that disappears, what's left feels like raw opinion dressed up as stand-up.
I'm going to talk frankly now about the black community. Okay? You're not going to hear this on Fox News, it's supposedly a right-wing, anyway, because you can't talk about, you can't even go near it on broadcast news. Unless, again, you're NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, and you want to put this whole, let me say this before I forget. This mayhem you're watching in this country on your TVs, these fucking riots, you know who is the main culprit? The mainstream media. Well, why is that, Nick? Because for the last 30 to 40 years, the CNNs of the world, the CBSs, the ABCs, the NBCs, the MSNBCs, the LA Times, the Boston Globe, they have been cherry-picking stories when there's a racial incident in this country. They cherry-pick the stories. It has to be a white cop, a black victim, or even if it's not cop-related, it has to be a white suspect, black victim.
That's the part Godfrey seems genuinely sad about. He's not mad that Nick has opinions. He's mad that Nick stopped doing the work of disguising those opinions inside actual joke architecture. He believes DiPaolo still has that ability in him, but instead he's choosing the easier path, blunt force outrage instead of crafted misdirection. And let's be honest, there's a real cost to that choice. You can absolutely be genuine, unfiltered, politically aggressive, and uncompromising, but you can't expect to also be embraced by the mainstream comedy ecosystem. You can't demand universal approval while swinging a bat at half the audience. That's just not how culture works. If your comedy becomes more about provocation than laughter, you're going to narrow your room, whether you like it or not. Some comedians make peace with that. They choose their lane and accept the trade-off. Smaller audience, louder loyalty, more polarization. Others want both the edge and the embrace. And that's where the friction happens.
White people talking about black issues is like...
what black issue?
Well, white people talking about anything black, it's like women talking about, or men talking about abortion. Women, no matter if the dude is right or not, women just don't want to hear it, because we don't have anything to do with it. So when white people talk about, oh, we were bred for slavery, I don't want to hear about white, black historians. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear the truth. Look, man,
What this conversation really raises is that uncomfortable question comedians never fully answer. Where is the line? And should there even be one? Comedy has always been about pushing boundaries, but pushing boundaries doesn't automatically mean abandoning craftsmanship. You can be dangerous and disciplined at the same time. The best comics always were. The irony is that DiPaolo used to live in that balance. He was sharp, fearless, but still architecting real jokes. Somewhere along the way, the balance tipped. And now, what used to feel like bite feels more like blunt trauma.